didn't know, like, speaking to us from the shadows, and I just got fed up because they wouldn't show themselves, so I just struck a tree and tried to corrupt it with my blood, and immediately blacked out, pincushioned.
Yeah. See, doesn't that seem like an impulsive decision? Yeah.
But why talk from the shadows? It's bullshit.
Just saying. I feel like there's two promises that can be made here on both sides, right? So I will do my best. I would like you to, maybe not do the reckless, brave thing. Not saying it's not courageous, or sometimes a really good idea, but
I get it. It's much appreciated.
Yeah. Also, what in the world is that rod situation happening? I feel like it's important. I feel like there's a lot of things that are discussed about it, but I have no idea.
Phrasing.
I located the first piece, and it's so how the aspect that we were fighting was trying to reach into our minds and was stealing memories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I went to identify what the rod was, I was flooded with imagery and a sense and the knowledge that this will potentially give us an upper hand against whatever bullshit that Greklor followers and Evilcast followers are enacting. The rod, it is a powerful artifact. And I hold the rod out for Shia to inspect it.
Can I cast Identify on this? I mean, like, we already know a little bit of it, but I don't think she does.
You may. You just casting in the spell slot?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an Arcana check for me.
16.
16. Okay. As you get the feedback from Identify, what is your alignment?
Great question. I don't have it on here. Probably chaotic good.
Okay. You feel a strong polarity from this item to you. There is an overwhelming magic of order and law that is emanating from this item. There's a wellspring of power, it feels like, contained herein, but also missing. Like the space exists for it, but it's not quite there. This item works as a spellcasting focus for any spellcaster. It is useful as a melee weapon, deals bludgeoning damage. That is magical. You can use your spellcasting ability if you have one for attack and damage rolls using it. it cannot be placed into a space of an extra dimensional space. And if it comes within 10 feet of another part of it, which you realize you saw in the aftermath of the fight against the aspect of Grekluk, when Aeolus approached the corpse of the Mindbreaker, the two pieces will fly through flesh, bone, metal, leather, does not matter, and connect to one another. So don't be in between the two pieces of them if they get close enough together. It is uniquely enchanted, as far as you can tell. Other items carry an aura of enchantment. This feels like enchantment organized into item.
It allows me to do a few things, like fly, as I sporadically did when we arrived back topside in Akkad. And the Mindbreaker had his floating. And I'm gonna take a few steps back so I'm away from everyone. And I'm just gonna focus on the rod. And Vergative just sweeps around me quickly before coming back to my hand. Oh! Well, that's fucking cool. I know I could do that.
That's an interesting artifact. Where did you pick up the first bit?
I just stare at the rod silently as I rewind through our adventures. I think I picked it up when we were at Hollow at the Dragon. Maybe before. Time's kind of fuzzy, I have to admit. And maybe a little bit too much. But you know how certain magic items you have to align with yourself, with your energy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is, as far as I can tell, permanently tied to me until I am killed.
Interesting.
So if the enemy gets their hands on this, it is very bad news. And that's why I brought up what I brought up earlier. It's not that I'm trying to get myself killed. It's me preparing for the worst and having a plan set so that the group is aware that this cannot fall into the wrong hands. And honestly, I would have loved to have had Siegfried have responsibility over it. I think he would do much better with it. But, like jackass I am, I was like, ooh, fancy new thing. I know how to identify magical objects. And it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can empathize with that. Shiny toy and all. But
And it also consistently points me to the next closest part. And I turn my head east, southeast.
What do you think is going to happen if you get all the pieces of that?
I'm gonna fuck up Greklork and Evilcast.
That I like the sound of, so I have to keep you alive in order for you to do that, because it sounds like a great way to spend an evening.
It does. Especially because I think I've seen both of them now in visions. I just want to protect everything. Everything I'm able to. I know that I can't save everyone and protect everyone. But Elderthorn's my home. The Bloody Mad Dogs are my family. The Order of the Iron Fang falls near the bottom of the list. Blackburn Watch, it's there. I'm grateful, but I've been with these guys for the last few months, and they've changed me. Don't know for the better or not yet, but I'm excited to see where we go. And I was so against the name. Oh, and now I'm expanding to Urcrypt. I'm drinking too much. Alright, I'm gonna head off. I think our watch is coming close to an end, and I look to see any traces of the sun.
You can see rays starting to illuminate the eastern sky, but it's on the far side of the mountains, so you still have a few hours before you have a direct line between it and you. I believe Dunnan has last watch, correct?
Yep, but I think Marcus stepped away for a second.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll pull up his sheet and roll a check for him. While I'm doing that, all of you roll me a Constitution saving throw. You do get Dunnan's bonus, but you do have the exhaustion penalty. Dunnan's bonus is a +4, +5. You have +3 to the roll. Everyone's fine. Everyone successfully recovers the level of exhaustion as you complete your long rest.
Because we're close to the cod.
Mm-hmm.
Shit!
You rested within the radius of the Deep Dragon. Which, I mean, is good because it means you're close, but it's bad. There was a chance that you would still have a level waking up. Dunnan's watch passes uneventfully. You all wake. It's still about 30 minutes in... It's dawn, but in the shadow of the mountains before the sun rises fully over their peaks and starts heating the desert itself. The area is already starting to get warmer. And to the south, as the small bit of moisture that's in the air evaporates as the world is rapidly heating around you at the moment, you can start to make out the plateau a few miles away that is the city of Akkad. Let's do our mid-session break here, as the group of you are going to make it to Akkad by about 10:30 or so. Let's do break for about 7 minutes. You're good.
Sure.
Done. I rolled for you. Break.
Was that a 27 on your con save? Holy shit!
Yeah.
I wish I could roll that high.
Melora is back, baby.
Yeah, or +5.
Yup.
Alright. Is everybody back?
Yep.
Looks like it.
Yes.
I think only Sam hasn't mentioned if he's back or not. But that's okay.
Spencer, sorry, I'm not feeling too great. Getting a bit of a headache, so I think maybe after we get to the tavern, I'm gonna head off a little early.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's fine. So as you all are roused, do you all complete your long rest? I saw you did your wheel roll already. Those of you who are spell preps, you can prepare your spells. Notable changes on spells that I've started putting in the 2024 stuff. And this affects you as well, Seyfried. Cure Wounds is now 2d8 instead of 1d8 base, and it gets 2d8 per level. Same for Healing Word. Lesser Restoration is a bonus action instead of an action. There's some other changes, but those are some of the big ones at low levels. If you want to make those changes on your sheets preemptively.
Did you get the book like preemptively or?
I
Like,
I found access.
I found it. Okay.
Yeah. Found access. That's how I have.
Let's
screenshots.
leave it at
No.
at that. Yeah.
One of the YouTubers made a video of them flipping through the book, and people got it before the video got DMCA'd.
I see. Okay. Do you know if they make like the changes on Roll22, like on the day it releases, or how they gonna handle the changes?
You'll be able to select either
Legacy content.
the Legacy 2014 version or the 2024 version.
I see.
In building, and I think Sam has mentioned that he's going to have access to the stuff on Roll20 also, or not Roll20 on D&D Beyond.
Aye.
Yep, it is. It is pre-ordered, ready to go. So
Well, I got it too. So
yeah,
No,
I'm excited for it.
I don't like the counterspell change entirely. So this would affect you, Jaya. The counterspell change is the target has to make a con save, and if they fail, the spell's countered. But their spell slot is not spent. I like the change to a save because it makes things that buff checks a little bit harder to do. And it lets monsters that have legendary resistance, in theory, force a spell through. So it makes counterspell slightly worse because it was probably a little bit too powerful. But the spell slot you counter isn't wasted seems stupid to me. If you counter like a 9th level, like a meteor swarm, that 9th level spell slot should be wasted.
yeah, I mean they just can try it again next round. That's kind of waste because I think it's always cool if you counter like a 9th level spell and you use like a 4th level slot. You get mega hype and then you know, well, but it's not wasted. So
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. No, and it's terrible because it uses your counter spell slot. So that one's gone, but theirs isn't. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. The nice change is there's no more benefit to upcasting because it's a save. So there's no, like, you don't have to worry about, like, oh, I gotta sort of guess what level spell slot to use to counter. Like, you can be a little bit more loose with it. Be like, oh, no, it's a 3rd level spell. Counter spell's a 3rd level spell. I don't want to spend my 5th level slot for no benefit. I'll just spend a 3rd. 3rd works as good as 5.
Right.
I think I'm going to house rule that to countering their spell does waste their spell slot. Because that seems to make the most sense, at least to me. Like, they've pulled the magic into them and then they're casting the spell. You stop casting the spell, the magic in them's lost. Like, I don't know.
Right.
What did you count if they don't spend the spell slot? It's just weird.
Exactly.
Yeah. You just delayed them for 1 turn. Which could be a totally different spell. But that spell also exists, the delay them for 1 turn. That's one of the Exandria's spells. It's a 4th level, I believe. Getting into everything now. As the group of you approach Akkad, I was about to say Urcrypt, Akkad, the only way the group of you remember, and Siegfried, it has been within the last 30 days, you remember exactly how to get up, was the way that Finian directed you. So you have to skirt the outside of the city, and then you ascend this winding twist-back path that's probably more of a smuggling route than a proper entrance to the great city. And find yourselves on city streets. A few things are immediately apparent to the group of you. Firstly, for being mid-morning and the expected busyness of the streets, it is not present. As you sort of take a gander out at a more main road from where you've come up onto the plateau, you see barricades have been erected at various points throughout the city squares. As you dog your way through, you've been gone basically 2 long rests, effectively. Close to 3 days, because you left right after you finished 1. This is the 10th day for you, Aeolus, so your gear is available to be picked up, in theory. As you jog your way through the various alleyways, you hear shouts and cries in various languages. You see a group of Eskar hustling down one thoroughfare and turning vaguely north. There's a very different feel to the city. No one stops you or accosts you in any type of way. As you get to Rook's mead hall and boarding house and push your way in, you can see the massive difference that's taken place. The main common room of Rook's is covered in cots and beds. It looks like they've been scavenged from houses. They don't match. And there are dozens of individuals. Each of these cots is maybe a foot and a half away from the next adjacent one, and barely enough for a single individual to sort of squirm their way through from one bed to another. Most of these are occupied by individuals in various states of injury. Some burns, some scars, people with missing limbs, people with blindfolds on. And those that are not occupied, the linens are clearly stained by an unknown mixture of fluids, mostly blood. They're off to the bar where no tables were able to be set. You've interrupted a heated meeting, it seems. Sort of lots of faces turn to you and lots of weapons are drawn upon your initial entry into this space until people recognize you and resheath their blades. Finch is amongst them. He's currently has a heavy bandage and stained upon the side of his head, covering one of his ears. It's a very good bit to see you lot. Although we'd much appreciate if you don't fuck off when we're all going into battle. Well, it's fair you didn't know, but you're here now.
What happened?
Heading into battle.
Well, the battle's been going on. You help put out fires. Fine, great, wonderful. And then you fuck off to Nowheresville.
We had to return and Aeolus will point to the Blackburn emblem on his chest. But we're back.
Well, I tried to get back here, and something didn't work, and we landed somewhere else, so... We would have been here yesterday.
Yesterday would have been better than today. It's a
Oh.
shite storm out there.
We are here now, so what's the deal here?
Finian, you should, in case it matters to your operations, you should let people know teleportation isn't working normally in the city anymore.
You know, lots of things aren't working in the city. Mostly the city is not working in the city.
There's a consciousness preventing people coming in and out of the city right now. That's what I'm saying.
It don't matter. Look,
How's the order?
fucking murders. They're all over the place. It showed up in nick of time, hopefully. We're organizing some sorties.
Well, we're here to sign
The
up for
Order's
these.
taken over the districts that they were well represented.
So,
We're,
First they tried to
we're in the
burn it
midst
down.
of a... No. Why would they burn down their own territory? They're
No.
taking it. They're
The
killing
other
people. They're
houses.
pulling people out of homes, murdering them in the streets.
Jesus.
I mean, to be fair, we're trying to do the same thing to them, but they're far more organized, and the Asgard are fucking everything up. All the leadership's missing.
Maybe they got abducted by the realm?
I think so. There's a number of hostages that we're pretty sure are being held in the Oasis because they know we can't sort of go in there burning everything and cutting everything down because we'll destroy the food sources. So we're
The
pretty sure
food
there's...
sources will be fine with what lies underneath. Anyone who has been abducted, if they magically pop up again, they can't be trusted.
Right now, they're hostages, and we owe it to try to get them out of where. But that's not all. We're missing most of the members of the leadership. No one's seen King Aldrich Valor in 4 days, and about most 5-6-ish of the Council Oasis, a handful of the most wealthy and prominent merchants, guild leaders, totally missing. No idea where they are. Amongst them is all of the senior leadership of the Asgard, who were with, as far as we knew, King Aldrich. So the Asgard have no central leadership, so they can't organize efficiently. And they're refusing to take orders from any of the civilian populace, because they don't trust the civilian populace either.
Will they trust us since we're outsiders?
Can you tell us?
Probably less.
Can you tell us where their barracks are? Their central barracks.
The Asgard, they're all over the city. I mean, the central barracks would be in the, quote, palace that King Aldrich Valor has, but that's totally under the control of the other realm. It was their first hit. It happened when the fires were going on.
How many people do you have at your disposal on your side at the moment?
Fuck if I know. You're looking at most of us. He glances around the room at a little bit more than a dozen individuals, some of which are sporting serious wounds, albeit they are still standing and not relegated to a bed. Look, we got some ideas. Not good ideas, but at least they're ideas. We need to first check to see if any of the important leaderships at the Oasis, where all the food's grown and we get our water supply, We can't. Right now, it's being controlled. Even if, as you say, the hostages, they're lost causes. We don't have access to water if we can't re-secure that. Now, maybe we get the hostages, maybe we don't, maybe they're killed when we try to rescue. Maybe we have to kill them, I don't know. But if we don't have to kill them, and some of the Asgard leaderships amongst them, we might have a start. There's a number of important buildings throughout the city that we want to sort of coordinate, trying to recapture. If we can get some of the Asgard to sort of help us try to retake the King's Palace, it'd be great. If not, whatever. I think my friend might have some ability to assist if we can retake his shop.
Finian, do you need water right now?
No, we're all right. We got wine. And sort of cracks a smirk at you. We gotta
Just so you
find.
know,
We gotta find leadership. Some of the Asgard, the fate King Valor, if he's alive. I mean, hopefully he is, but I mean, he wasn't doing great. And when you take the palace and you stage a coup, you typically kill the previous monarch. He's probably dead. Maybe not. Probably dead. Or, if, as you say, and we can't trust any people who suddenly pop back up, he's probably alive and needs to be dead.
Well, before we get into that, the Oasis is the focus at the moment?
I think so. I mean, it's the closest, alright? If we could coordinate multiple attacks, maybe you guys could try to get our friend's shop back up. We might have some supplies to try to help us out, like sort of push further in, but like that's into their territory a fair bit. The Oasis is the most important to start with.
So,
As far as we can tell, the realm being sort of led and commanded by three individuals. There's this elf feller, a pretty strong looking tabaxi feller, and a dwarven lady.
with several tattoos?
Aye. They've been seen giving commands here and there, and we've not been able to get arrow, bolt, nor spell near enough to them to do anything. They seem to be warded by fairly potent magics, maybe their own, maybe others.
One of us also spotted them setting off a lot of the fires.
Fires took a while to deal with. It makes sense. Set a whole bunch of them and then head below and try to take the citadel.
So what do you think, Aeolus? Which one should we do first?
Well, as Finch mentioned, their biggest thing is and our biggest thing should be hostages. We should focus on the Oasis first. The shop can hold off for the moment. I believe we would need a lot of reconnaissance for all of these steps, but to be able to rescue anyone and establish who we have, organize the guards so that they're not a bunch of fuckwits just running around.
Finian, are you sure I can't resupply you? I can give you 30 gallons of water and 45 gallons of food for a day. You sure you don't need that?
We're fighting at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, a lot.
Save your strength.
Also,
We're
to
gonna need it.
be totally clear, like, the water's a concern. Of course, we've got plenty of food, and we can survive being hungry for a few days if it need be. But the pace that the realm is taking over, the
It's
city will
like
be theirs in the next day. We can't hold them back unless we can start making some type of gains.
Right. We go and try and spring the hostages then.
All right.
so.
Hold on. I'm gonna take us out of character for a moment.
Mhm.
The D&D combat system is not well designed for large-scale combats.
Yes.
So there are a series of 5 missions that the group of you have the options of undertaking. You have to complete 3 of them in the next 24 hours in-game. You would have had 48. You have to complete 3 of them in the next 24 hours, or a COD will be overrun. And the city will be lost to the Order of Well.
So is one of the missions reestablishing the establishment?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
As the group of you either succeed or fail in these missions, you will either have benefits in the final mission or drawbacks in the final mission. You will have a chance to attempt all 5 of them, unless you miserably fail the first 3, in which case you're out of luck.
So, suggestion for the Bloody Mad Dogs. If we can secure the shop, do we think our friend can use that as a way to bring reinforcements?
I do. And
Then I
agree.
think that should be our focus. We should tackle that first.
I agree, because it's something the Order wouldn't expect. They would expect us to go for the hostages first.
And they would expect us to try to protect the Oasis. Pinch. Because of where Akkad stands. The Oasis persists because of where it stands and what calls Akkad home. It allows it to grow and prosper much faster than anywhere else in this region. So if we were to damage the Oasis, it's not a complete loss. But we don't want to raze it to the ground, but just know we don't have to approach that as if we're walking on eggshells necessarily. Shia, can you contact your mentor and let him know that we are going to try to reestablish his link?
Jaya's got her eyes closed and she's concentrating, but she's gonna nod at you.
A few moments later, you have telepathic bond up. Can you put it in chat, please?
Mm-hmm.
Good choice of spell. All right. Up to 8 willing creatures. I'm assuming you're including the 6 of you. Are you including Finian?
Yeah.
Okay. And it lasts for 1 hour. Okay.
Inian, can you just entertain me for a moment? And I reach into my belt and I pull a dagger out. Can you prick your hand?
Oi. Make a persuasion check.
Oh no. I will further explain to Inian. When we were investigating underneath Akkad, we came across the creatures we told you about. The raspberry jam.
Oi.
It is our working theory that is what most of the order is at this point, are just raspberry jam copies of people that have been taken and used to be against the order, but then returned in favor. So anyone who you see acting strangely,
Make sure they hate the Order of the Realm.
or if they don't necessarily hate it, make sure that they bleed, and I'll slice my hand.
Is this
And
wasn't
it-
enough blood in the fucking room already?
Yeah, but that's okay. It's my blood. Just make sure that
Just sort
that they.
Rests his 2 fingers on his temple for a moment, like, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. He's
Well,
exasperated with you.
I'll just activate one of my crimson rights as I slash my hand.
Wonderful. So it is mid-morning at this point, daytime, effectively.
To the establishment then.
So, to get back on track, so we just rescue the people at the Oasis, right? Was that the mission?
I
So-
think that's the most important. Oi.
It's one of the missions. We can do any of the missions in any order,
Not
but
true.
we. Oh, I mean, as far as we know, we can do all 5 missions.
Right,
Depending
but
on
the most important task is the Oasis.
yes.
Right.
Finian's position is that the most important one is the Oasis, because there are presently
Also the
hostages
hostage.
there. You do not know how long the hostages are going to survive, but there's a chance that you will be able to recover one of the leadership of the Askar, which you need to try to bring the Askar into a more organized faction.
Well, I
Which
think
are the
that's,
guards?
I think that's should be the most important task, right? I mean, if the Asgard can reorganize themselves, maybe that helps us in other missions. Or
He does
Also,
have a point, Fearless.
if
We
we
don't know
can-
how long the hostages are going to last.
Also, if we can get the Askar organized, and the group here, the Askar will be the ones they won't really like anyone going else after the palace. But we could have them going at the palace while y'all are going at kill.
it's a distraction, you mean?
Aye.
We can
And
multitask.
they'll probably prioritize the fucking palace over a shop.
Hmm. Alright, you won me over, so
So that's 3 that we have on our list so far.
So the hostage crisis at the Oasis. You have to liberate strategic buildings.
Yep.
The one of which that he's mentioned to you is the establishment. Somewhere within these, or as its own thing, you have to find relevant leadership of Akkad that can take control of the Askar, that they will recognize as leadership.
Okay.
So if you do not find them at the Oasis, or they're dead at the Oasis, you need to find another person that the Askar will recognize as a leader.
Okay.
So
Oh.
that can be done as keeping an eye out as you're moving through town. You can spend a few hours and sort of scout around to try to be stealthy. It's up to you how you sort of undertake that. Like 2 to 3 person teams, like you did with the fires, for example. Stealth, probably more of a skill challenge type of thing, as you stealth out and try to get information and try to solve problems that way. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Train.
And
Well,
then,
we know for
after
so
those 3 are the middle 3. One of them's starting as you guys finish this conversation, and then the final one is to use the forces and the resources that you've gathered to try to strike at their leadership.
Okay.
Oh, we know for sure that there are hostages at the Oasis. So our highest chance to find somebody worthy of leadership for the escort is there. If there is nobody, we have to search around, right?
Yeah, so I think if we succeed at the Oasis, we could potentially get multiple objectives going.
Right.
So I agree that I think we should go to the Oasis first.
Alright, then let's go. What are we waiting for?
Dunnan, as you come to the conclusion, Jaya, you mentioned that you are able to contact Kelpip, correct?
Yes.
Are you using the ring to do so?
Yes.
Okay. What do you say to initiate the contact?
Oi, boss, we got a hell of a problem here. We could, use some assistance.
What type of problem? Be quick. We don't have too long to talk. What's going on?
Full scale war. It's funny how I slip into his accent the minute I start talking to him. But hostages, city overrun, no leadership, and a lot of deaths.
That's unfortunate. I'm not sure how I could help from here.
If we were to get the shop open, would you be able to aid in any way?
Could. Make sure it's empty. Nobody in it, under any circumstances, for 10 minutes. And let me know when. Under no circumstances can anyone enter during that time.
10 minutes, empty shop. Third.
You feel the connection break. Minutes expired.
I'll relay the 10 minutes back, and then who has sending?
Tang does.
That was able to contact him before? Tang, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tang has multiple methods of sending between the Bangle, the Starlight Raven, and spell slots. I believe you're all on the map of Rook's Mead Hall, correct?
Yes.
As you're finishing up this conversation, you all hear boots outside, and the scratching sounds, and the creaking timbers of the wood that supports the roof of Rook's give under weight. There's some degree of individuals moving up on the roof. Glancing outside, you see a number of members of the Order of Whelm closing in around the shop.
Finian, are we fighting here or are we getting out?
He sort of he gestures at all of the dozens of injured people. You can't get anyone out of here.
Right, we fight.
That's fine. Bloody mad dogs! By the order of Blackburn, eliminate Order of Whelm with extreme prejudice.
Like, everyone to roll into initiative.
Finally, some action.
Hold on, the Scarman Blaster's jammed. Oh, oh,
That one got
oh my god, guys! No.
Oh lord.
Fuck that, I'm getting
Oh,
my
no.
leg back.
We almost got it
Wait,
straight. We almost
hold
got
on.
it straight.
Hold on, my natural one is the second highest out of all. No,
Mm.
guys, we can't do this.
Oh no!
Guys,
I
we
just
can't
looked
do
at the
this.
initiative.
Well,
Well,
nice knowing you.
I mean, technically it fits. We're preparing.
All right. Let me move these onto you.
We did the exact opposite. I just want to let you all know of what
They also rolled fairly poorly, but
Kang asked us to do, and that was not to die. And rolling low on initiative
good start.
is step one of not to die.
Okay. Finian needs to roll into initiative also.
Please roll a natural 20, Finian.
13.
That's still better than most of us.
That's all right. I'm moving him down.
Oh, fuck.
So that way he's hopscotching the group
Oh.
with you. So that way it makes it easier to manage. All right. So my initiative tokens are in the top corner. So those are not actually enemies. Top of the round, the group of you see a number of individuals moving up the street. They all got a regular movement, and a series of blasts crack through the windows. Radiant bolts. Aeolus 1, Dunnan, you have half cover. Natural 1, it doesn't matter. Aeolus 23 to hit you.
23 would hit, but I'm going to hold the rod up, and I'm going to cast Shield.
Nice. Okay. Heliwrast, it didn't roll. Heliwrast 21 to hit you, and Siegfried 17 to hit you.
Misses.
Okay. This one won't hit you, Heli. You're muted.
Sorry, I'd like to activate my Gift of the Metallic Dragon.
Reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, put it in chat.
Okay. And that would be the Protective Wings.
Ooh, nice. Okay. You can see within when you and another creature attack roll equal to your proficiency bonus. Nice. Your proficiency bonus is a 4, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your base AC?
Base AC is 16.
Okay, so this is a 21 to hit you, so that's still going to hit you.
Yeah, okay.
So if you
Good try.
you don't have to use the feature if in that case then.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So you take 14 points of radiant damage. Okay. That is the Chosen's turn. That brings us to Siegfried. Pardon me, the Blessed turn brings us to Siegfried with my Chosen on deck.
Which windows are they attacking from? This one?
So the south one here and the north one there. The doors are to the outside are here, double doors to the south. You can climb through a window. It costs you 10 feet of movement for each square moving through the window. So it'd be 20 feet total to go from one spot to the other spot. If you're climbing through a window. Now you can fire through. You'll get, depending on where you are and where they are, some degree of cover potentially.
Sorry, just reading some spells.
What if we ducked behind the bar?
You absolutely could. I'd give you 3/4 cover if you're behind the bar and for range attacks. Now, there's a number of doors off to the sides here, over here, here. The one next to the bar, the group of you know, is the kitchen. The one here, if you open it, the map makes it look like an office. It's actually the sleeping quarters.
Okay. So, with Wall of Ice, it says I can make 10 10-foot squares with it. So
quote it in the chat.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
It says I can make
You form in a hit or a radius 10 feet, or a flat surface made up to 10 10-foot panels.
okay. So the range is 120 feet, so I don't think I have to move. I would like to make a wall if I could that blocks this window and this window.
Okay. So,
However the max length is.
max length is 100 feet. 10,
Okay.
10 by 10 feet.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit. So I'm gonna do 50 feet here, block that window,
Okay.
and then 50
down.
feet down there and block that window.
Alright, let me grab a spell template. This will work. So can you measure 50 feet for me again?
Yeah, and sorry, there was I was gonna do something before I did the wall with my bonus action. Sorry, with my bonus action, I'm gonna go into archer form. And I get one archery shot off that. I forget the range of the archer. Sorry.
Mark concentration for a wall of ice.
Yep. Concentrating on that. Trying to figure out the distance on my archery.
60
I think
feet.
it's 60 feet. So
95% sure it's 60 feet.
okay, so I am within range of that guy then.
Okay, so you want to shoot him before the wall goes up?
Yeah, I want to shoot him before the wall goes up.
Certainly. That one has no cover. The other one would have
Yep.
been half cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I want to shoot them before the wall goes up. I love Wall of Ice. What a good spell. Here's the archer.
22 hits. 8 points of damage.
And then with my movement, I am going to move back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there.
Okay.
6. Sorry.
That brings us to the Chosen, who will dash to there. These Chosen 25, 60. That's their turn. That brings us to Aeolus.
I am going to turn to anyone that is able-bodied besides us. Do your very damnedest to protect injured. If they break in, that's when you get involved. Let us handle these. And I will...
You can see a lot of nods of assent. Most of the other people are not battle ready in any type of way. They're not armored. They've been either been treated for wounds or been treating wounds. So they start trying to move the beds as close inwards as they can. They're going to start moving people behind the bar.
Okay.
So they'll be
I am going
some degree of cover.
I'm going to use my action to activate Levitate on this table, and I'm gonna flip it up on its side and kick it so it hits the window, and I'm going to release Levitate so it's blocking the window.
I like it. Okay. Sweet. Let me grab something for that.
And then I'm going to reach into my bag, and as a bonus action, I am going to. That's with. Oh, it's within 30 feet. That's my turn,
Okay.
and I'll end up right here.
The group of you hear the tearing sounds as some of the shingles, the terracotta shingles that make up the roof of Rooks, are torn, and the splintering sounds of wood beams crack underneath massive weight as dropping down in the center of the mead hall, one of which landing on a table, splintering underneath its weight. You see 2 dreadnoughts drop down upon you. And I need their stat blocks, which for some reason were not open. This one closes on Dunnan and Jaya.
Dunnan, show them the power of ale.
Everybody gets 9 temporary hit points who stood within 10 feet. Don't forget.
Okay.
Okay. Against Dunnan, it is going to make its 2 serrated sword attacks, and then it's going to make a tail attack on Teng. Dunnan, natural 1, natural 20.
Both miss.
24 points of slashing damage, reduced by 3 because of Heavy Armor Master.
Alright.
So
21.
Yeah. Tail attack on Teng. Wow, 12. No good. Jaya, you are the only one adjacent to it, so it's making all 3 on you. 11, 19, and a natural 1.
I'm lucky. 19 will hit.
19 to hit. Are you doing any reaction or no?
Actually,
I'll use my reaction, that one that hit Tang, as
Sentinel.
part of Sentinel. Yeah,
That's good.
sorry. Didn't want to interrupt.
No good. 15 points. Solid hit. Are you shielding or not, Jaya? Or silvery barbsing?
I was actually gonna make it silvery barbs.
Certainly. To whom would you like to bequeath the advantage?
I'll give it to Aeolus. I feel bonded now.
Changes it into 15. That's a miss on you. The other... That's all the dreadnoughts. That brings us to Dunnan with Finian on deck. I forgot to roll Tang into your initiative. She's at the top.
I will attack the one in front of me.
Yeah, go for it. This massive beast is snarling down at you.
And I will use my new feat. I'll make that a goading attack. And will like bark at it.
It sounds good. Okay.
I fucking love it.
I add a
so-
d6 to that.
So you have to roll to hit first. Oh, you rolled to hit. 25. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and-
17 points of damage. So
Now one more because I can add the superiority die.
-1. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Yeah.
It's really its strength. 9. And then all attack rolls against creatures other than you have disadvantage.
Yeah, correct. So, and our question, does Shieldmaster now, do we use the new one, or do we...
No, we can use the new Shield Master. You can do it as part of the same action.
Okay, so I'll try to knock it prone. It needs to do a strength saving,
Strength
so...
save. And then the DC for Shield Master is your strength plus your proficiency plus 8.
So 8 plus 5, and proficiency bonus is 3, I guess, right?
13.
Proficiency is
4.
Yeah.
4.
So
8, so
13,
17.
So strength save 17. They are better at strength. Rolls a 19. Does not get knocked prone or pushed back.
Right. And then I'll attack a second time.
Sounds good. 26
Zero
hits. That'll be 13 points of damage. She's looking rough immediately.
And I will...
Previously, when you guys fought them, you were not fresh. You are fresh now.
Okay. And I should have done that before, but I will use Spirit Shroud.
Ooh, nice. Get the Spirit Shroud going.
Yeah.
Okay. What type of damage would you like to deal? Radiant, Necrotic, or Cold?
Is it concentrating? Yeah.
Yeah. It is concentration. You get to choose which type of damage. Radiant, Necrotic, or Cold.
I guess... Cold. Why
Sounds
not?
good.
Let's try something new.
Yeah. They can't possibly resist cold.
Mm-mm.
Brings us to Finian. Where's Finian's stat block? There it is.
Spiritual weapon doesn't get to attack when you bring it in now.
It's Spirit Shroud, not
Spirit
Spirit
Shroud.
Oh, Spirit Shroud. I was thinking spiritual weapon.
No,
I was like,
Spirit
yeah,
Shroud.
spiritual
Third
weapon
level
is
spell.
very different now.
No. Different. Yeah,
So-
different spell.
So wait, so for clarification for me, is Dunnan's Spirit Shroud just all the mugs of ale that he's had in the past? Did that just float around him?
The ghosts of ales past.
Ice cold ale now.
Finian will hop up on the table and will make 2 attacks with his Songblade. 18 and 21 both hit.
Okay, well,
So that is.
How does Finian fight exactly?
So he pulls the blade that has the 3 gems in the hilt from his back, and it seems like he manipulates it much like a short sword. He seems to be incredibly dexterous, but there's strength in his blows. Like, he seems to be a nimble individual, but he is not. He's not a fencer.
Mm. He's still a brawler, even
he's
though he uses a
strength-based,
melee weapon.
Yeah. He's using a smaller weapon, but probably because of the weapon that he has. So he deals 9 points of slashing, and there is a flash of emerald green light as he deals an additional 9 points of radiant for 18 to start with, and then 11 and 6 for 17 on the second hit. All right. That is both of his attacks. As a bonus action, on the second attack, he will use his smite spell and deal an additional 2d8 for 8 points on top of everything. And that'll bring us to... Where's my turn order? Droucia, with Heliwrast on deck. Finian's a paladin.
of course he is.
I'm gonna
I
fight
give
so
him
bad, but
acknowledging look. Sorry.
no, you're okay. Okay, so the top 2 windows where we see the people, that's been blocked by ice, right?
Blocked by ice, yeah. It's 10 feet high, correct, Siegfried?
Yes, 10 feet high.
Yeah, it's floor to
Okay,
ceiling. Yeah.
but
You might have
nothing down
splintered
here.
a few. It's pushing dangerously on some of the beams there, but yeah, they are totally blocked. And then this one has a table blocking it, but you can see down this way. and that this window is broken out. Well, broken inwards.
Oof. Okay, so the window is broken.
Yeah, so you could shoot through the window if you wanted to.
Okay. Bonus action, blade song, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
Then I think I'm gonna throw a sickening radius out the window at that group
Sickening
of individuals
radiant.
down there at the
All
top.
right. Nice. All right.
This is
Go ahead and
Sam's
drop
favorite
that.
spell.
I believe that's a square, correct?
Flashback Tome of Annihilation. Yeah.
30-foot radius sphere.
30-foot radius sphere. Okay.
That was Armis's version of a fireball.
10,
I don't care.
20,
It's sickening
30,
radiance.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I believe that radius is correct.
Good to me.
Yep. Snap to corner. Come on. No, I think I'm one size too small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 25-foot radius at the moment.
There we go. Now it's correct.
Love this spell.
And then you need line of sight on the center point. There we go. Alright, and I'll send that to map layer. And then I believe they save at the start of their turns, right?
Yeah, so if they start their turn or enter it.
Con save, 4d10 radiant damage, and take a level of exhaustion. Nice.
I think the only other thing I'm going to do is scooch down, so I'm still in his reach, but I'm just on the other side of him. I'm going to give him a little wink.
Sounds good. You set up the flank with Finian.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and I mark concentration for you, so let me add Sickening Radiance to the chat directly above them, or not the chat, the turn order, so I remember to make the save. Alright, anything else, Shia?
It's bonus action movement. We're good.
Alright, brings us to Heliwrast with Tang on deck. And I think we'll pick up with Tang next session.
Oh, that's so mean. Hey, by the way,
you're top of the order.
I mean, you guys did that to me last time.
Everyone
God.
rolled complete shit on their initiative except for you.
I think Heli's gonna cast Conjure. Well, first she's gonna pull Corin. Let me pull her out. And then she's gonna cast Conjure Animals.
Okay.
And she wants bears. She's done bears before, right?
Yeah.
And then she's going to transfer concentration on those to Corin.
Okay.
And they'll be at level 3.
Can you drop Conjure Animals into chat, please?
Yep.
I think the last time Heliwrast did this, she conjured badgers, and they
wrecked shit.
Yeah, they did.
Want something a little beefier than a badger. Wolverine would be great, but
I just remember when we summoned the alligators and the wolves at the same time. Annihilation.
oh, that was fun.
It's ridiculous.
The worst thing for a dungeon master ever. Oh, you want more summons? Okay.
This spell is changing drastically.
Oh, it is. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I'm probably removing it from the shaman entirely. It's the spell's gutted. It feels terrible now.
Uh-huh.
So we get 4 bears. It's a spot within range, within 60 feet of you. Are you summoning them outside, or are you summoning... Where are you
Summoning them inside. Going to put them at the doors.
Okay.
So down here at the bottom.
So they're just there, and their job is to attack anything coming through the doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You have a cadre of bears at the entrance.
A cadre of bears. Corin is there, and
Concentration for conjure.
Yep.
And then
What's the icon for concentration?
the stopwatch.
The stopwatch. That's what I thought. Okay.
Conjure animals. Why do I have caps lock on?
But yeah, that's a really cool combination. Summoning animals and then moving the concentration onto Corin. That's a cool idea.
Well, you don't move it, but like you can make Corin concentrate on it instead. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because then you could
She's
just have Corin like
concentrating.
go hide in a corner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to send her to attack anything until the bears are gone. And then she gets to play.
I just picture Corwin just crawling from Heliwrast and then onto a poor individual who's recovering in bed. And they just open their eyes and just like,
oh, there's a ghostly spider on my chest. Shit.
I just wanted to sleep, man.
She's
These
just going
weird
to put
people walked in.
she's just going to put one single foreleg to their lips and shush them.
All right.
Just-
We'll pick up there next session, though.